What's up? Anybody who watches my videos knows I travel to historical sites in Virginia, but I think every once in a while I'm going to mix things up and yeah, visit a different city. So right now I'm in Baltimore and I'm headed to the B&O Railroad Museum. So check that place out. So I'm here at the B&O Railroad Museum, and it's the old Montclair station, and it's pretty much the birthplace of railroading in America, site of the first passenger service trains, and considered one of the largest and the best railroad museums in the country. So see what's up. There is Charles Carroll of Carrollton, richest man in America in the late 1700s and one of the biggest contributors to the railroad. And here's a stone. It was that was laid commemorating the opening of the B&O Railroad. Let's see, that would be July 4th, 1828. This thing is the Stonebridge Lion, and it was the first commercial railroad, first commercial steam engine, and it actually ran on wooden tracks. Some of the first locomotives over here. Richard Trevithick's locomotive. Thought to be the world's first steam engine, built over in England. And one to note down here is the Tom Thumb, and I've heard the story of this one, America's first steam engine, the first to operate on a main line. And I know there was a popular story at the time, popular event. It raced a horse pulling a carriage. It actually broke down, but it did show that trains were faster and stronger. Yeah, over here it's when the steam engine was being phased out in favor of diesel electric engines. They're stronger and more efficient. Yeah, here we go, more modern looking trains. Some electric cars over here you would see in the cities. They didn't last too long. They were kind of phased out with the popularity of the automobile. Yeah, you can see the little connectors there at the top. Here's some box cars over here. Kind of haven't changed too much. Some passenger cars. The first passenger cars look like carriages. I guess that's what they were used to, but they soon grew larger. Back here, the Great Railroad Strike of 1877. And this guy over here, John Work Garrett, middle name's Work. And yeah, he decreased wages in 1876. Then 8 or 9 months later, he decreased wages again for his higher paid workers. So yeah, there was eventually a revolt, and this was the first rumblings of soon to be labor unions. And yeah, those capitalists back in the late 1800s were pretty ruthless. So pretty big event. The governor of time, Governor Carroll from the famous Carroll family, had to call in federal troops. Yeah, so they arrived by steamboat. Well, I don't push that. So the railroad industry did help us adopt standard time. And yeah, that's when all the engineers started wearing these pocket watches. But yeah, it used to be the different cities' times would vary slightly. They were still judging noon by when the sun was highest in the air. But anyway, it was in 1883 that we adopted standard time and broke the country up into time zones. Thing's pretty. It's a Mason locomotive, first of the American style engines, the 440 engine, and first of I don't want to say modern, but it's the traditional train that you think of when you think of locomotives from the 1800s. This one over here is called the Camel. It's the most powerful locomotive of the time. Yeah, you've got the coal car back here, firebox where they shove in the coal, and a giant boiler. Cab actually sits on top of the boiler. Big exhaust dome up front. That Tom Thumb engine I was talking about earlier. And yeah, first engine used on the track on its inaugural journey from Baltimore to Ellicott City. Oh, and the placard was saying that the story about it racing a horse might be folklore. They don't know for sure. And yeah, actually the first cars pulled on the track here were actually pulled by horses. And a horse could pull 12 times the weight it could pull on the road. And before you had tractor trailers, freight trains, you had wagoners. they're the ones who deliver goods from the docks out west. And before you had taxi cabs, you had stagecoaches. And yeah, you would also use them on long journeys if you were traveling from Boston to Philadelphia. And famous for their bumpy ride, although I see some sort of shock absorber underneath. And the Conestoga wagon, before you had boxcars, used to carry goods from the docks out west. And something you'd see out on the Oregon Trail. And yeah, first passenger cars were made to look like the early stagecoaches. And it looks like you actually sat sideways. And yeah, this would be the York, named after its owner, from York, Pennsylvania. And first engine that was in regular use on the B&O. And they used to call it the grasshopper. The vertical pistons there would go up and down, looking like a grasshopper. The Lafayette. This place is huge. Still a lot more to go. And just left the roundhouse. I'm going to go up, take a look at some of these cars, and then I'm going to go over to this North Car Shop. So, and just to let you know, if you're interested, tickets are $20. I thought that was a lot, but if you're a train enthusiast, I'd definitely do it. A whole lot to see. This would be the Car Works building. It's where they built, repaired, painted trains. And built between 1869 and 1871. Holy cow, that place was huge. Yeah, I'm done for the day. There are actually some more cars over there, but yeah, too tired of walking. And yeah, I give that one a big thumbs up. I knew nothing about trains, so there was a lot to learn, and definitely worth the $20. So anyway, see ya.